Hey guys, I'm back again with the introduction to AWS Pentesting by Tyler Ramsbey, and today I'm going to walk you through the second and final Capstone challenge, which deals with two more AWS services, which is the SNS service and API gateways. Now in this challenge, you're supposed to find an API key and use that API key to attack the API gateway and achieve the final flag. Now, by the way, I must say that I feel really proud today because I achieved this flag. I found this flag all on my own without getting stuck. Well, I did get stuck, but I ended up finding the flag in the end. And I'm also going to go through Tyler Ramsbey's version of how you get to that flag. So stay tuned. Alright, before we dive into the walkthrough, I want to break down two key concepts that you might hear me repeat during this walkthrough. And they are SNS and API Gateway. Now, what is SNS? SNS stands for Simple Notification Service, and this is like a messaging hub in AWS. Applications or services can publish messages to an SNS topic, and whoever is subscribed to that topic, which can be an application, a webhook, or email, they will get these messages. Now, in the walkthrough, an SNS was leaking API keys, a debug API key, and we're supposed to take that key and attack the API gateway, which leads me to the second concept. This is the concept of APIs. What's an API? API stands for Application Programming Interface. And as the name suggests, it's an interface or like a doorway that allows applications to talk to each other. So when you click on a URL in the Amazon service, you are making a request to an API endpoint. And with the right permissions, you can make this API endpoint give you data or perform certain functions. Now let's get into the walkthrough. Alright, so let's quickly read through the overview of this Capstone challenge. So it says here, welcome to the final Capstone challenge for the course. This challenge is based around another AWS service I did not go over in the course, and once again, that is on purpose. I want you to use everything you've learned in the course alongside your own research to complete this challenge. And this is what I like about this course as well. It puts you in a situation where you have to do your research before you carry out your pen testing, and that is the typical workflow that you will have as a pen tester. Alright, so let's go into the goals. Here are your goals. Enumerate your current credentials, research into Amazon SNS, find the secret debug API key, use the API key against the API gateway, and retrieve the final flag. Alright, and he wishes us good luck. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do everything from scratch, although I already did it, so that anyone who is watching may have an idea of what to do. Alright, so from here we need to launch the CloudGoat scenario. So you go into your terminal and you're going to type, as you can see, I already destroyed mine, so I'm going to recreate it. So you do CloudGoat create SNS secrets. Alright, now this might take a little time, so if you're watching this, you can pause the video and go do something and come right back. Alright, also while this is going on, I hope that you guys can click on the like button so that it can tell the algorithm that you like what you're seeing, and it can push my videos up to the front so that you know when I'm putting out more content. Alright, if you haven't subscribed as yet, just remember to click that subscribe button and the notification bell so that whenever I'm putting out more content, you get it. Alright, as you can see, the scenario is launching and it's creating all of the different configurations that need to be there for us to do the lab. So go take something, get something to drink, eat something, come right back or whatever. Alright, so this is complete. So now, as you can see here, I have credentials here. These credentials, you're going to put them in your notes. So now I have these credentials. I just need to copy them over and put them in my notes. So let me just copy this here. And then you copy this. Now let me go over to my notes. I use Notion for my note taking. So now I can type initial credentials here. Initial credentials. And then I could paste my credentials here. If it will allow me to paste my credentials here. Alright, so that's the first step now that we've created the Cloud Goat scenario. So from here, we're going to enumerate. So I want to make another heading here. So H2 again, and do enumeration. Alright, but first, before we do the enumeration, we have to create a profile. Alright. And by now, if you're following in the course, you should know that to create the profile, it goes like AWS configure profile, and then you do SNS secrets, and there's also another query which is like the who am I. So you do AWS STS get caller identity, and then you put the profile which is SNS secrets. Not exactly a secret there. Alright, so let's go to the terminal and see what this looks like. So now we're back at the VMware terminal, and we need to configure this. So let's go AWS configure profile SNS secrets. Alright, so what we need to do now is to enter the keys. Let's do that. Enter our keys here. And I know that, you know, at this stage, if you've been following in the course, you probably know how to do this by now, but this is for the benefit of those who are, you know, who aren't in the course. So then you enter this. The region name would be US East 1, and output format JSON. Alright, so now we're going to do the query, which will be AWS STS get caller identity, and the profile is going to be SNS secrets. And there you have it. So now we have a username. So all of that, you want to put that in your notes. So we can go back to the notes. If we go back to our notes here, we go to our notes, we can throw that in there. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put all of this information, both the configuration and the setup and the query. I'm putting all of that in one here. So we have everything in one place. Now we can make a note of the user. So we can say the user is, and we grab this here. So that's the name of our user. Alright. Now that we have the user, we're gonna enumerate this user to see what the permissions are, and then from there we can gather further information that we can use to get closer to our goal. Alright, so from our previous lessons, we learned about enumerating IAM permission. So I am going to do some of those, and one of them is to enumerate the inline policies. So for that, the command would be AWS IAM list user policies, then the username, and of course we're gonna grab this username here, so we can grab it from right here, and paste that there, and then using the profile SNS secrets. And as you can see, we have a policy name of CG SNS user policy, right? So from here, we can put this in our notes. So if we look here, you can see we have already put that we're enumerating user permissions. And to check, we're going to put that in here. Hold on, let me just copy what I just did from the terminal over here. So we're gonna go over here and copy this, copy all of this, and paste it in here. Now that we've pasted that, the next thing we're gonna do is, since we found this policy here, we're gonna find out what the details of this policy entails so that we can see the full permissions of this user. I also did try to list any attached policies. Let's see if we could do that as well. AWS IAM get so it would be to list attached user policies, then you need the username, and we can grab that again here, paste it here, profile SNS secrets, and as you can see, there are no attached user policies. So we can dig deeper into the policy here to see what that entails, and to do that we're going to do the get policy query, which is AWS IAM get user policy, username, and type that there, and then the policy name, there is the policy name. We have the policy name here, we can just copy that, and of course we have to specify which profile is trying to do this query, and it's SNS secrets. Alright, so As you can see here, whenever the syntax isn't correct, it definitely will tell you. And I think what the issue is, as you can see here, I did not spell user properly. So again, I need to fix my typo issue. So I have to go back all the way up here and make that correction. Let me do that real quick and stop annoying you guys. Thank you for your patience, by the way. If I hit enter. Alright, as you can see, we have information here, and you want to take note of this and put it in your notes so that you can extract data whenever you want instead of having to scroll all the way up in your command line. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it in my notes. Alright, I just need to block all of this. Alright, let me see. The thing with this is that it might not allow you to copy it all the way from top to bottom, so you might have to go from the end all the way up, which is what I'm doing now. And copy this, and let's go over to my notes, and then I could put policy details. Do a code block, paste it in. So let's look at these policy details. So as you can see here, it's saying that the actions here, these are the actions that this user can take based on the policy. So they can subscribe to the topic. Remember the topic that I explained about, the SNS topic. They can receive messages, they can list subscription by topic, list topics, get topic attribute, get groups for users, list user policy, get user policy, list attached policies, and they can get from the API gateway. Alright, so this is, they're allowed to do it in the effect here. So that's how you interpret this. And as you can see at the bottom here, there are certain things that you're denied from doing. You can't do any kind of get when it comes to the API keys, resources, methods, and so on. Alright, so now we know what we can do. We can focus on that and see what kind of information we can glean from this.